discussing how to have magnetic attraction and polarity in relationship. This is a topic I am so excited to be circling back on. It's my passion, it's my work, and it's really important. Yeah, why is this important for a relationship? Because if we want to have intimacy and passion and desire that stands the test of time, if we want to cultivate that long-term in relationship when you've been together for 10 years and you're bored with each other, you need to understand these concepts. You need to understand what is required to maintain desire, what is required to maintain that attraction, that comes from that polarity, which we'll talk about. So before we dive in, I want to just reset on what is polarity. And we'll talk about what is magnetism. So polarity, you think about a battery. A battery has positive and negative ions through which the flow of electricity flows. Through which the flow of electricity flows. Now, you need these opposing forces to create that flow, to create that magnetic attraction. So magnetic attraction is created from polarity. Now, polarity, you can think of it as opposing forces. You can think of it as differences. You can think of it as push and pull. So it's this dance of push and pull, of two different energies, opposing energies that create magnetic attraction. Now, polarity is created through friction. So you think about in relationship, Now, I don't want you to think, because many people think about how do I cultivate polarity, but it's unhealthy ways. So it doesn't mean your partner says something and you go the complete opposite way. No, that's not how you want to think about it. But through the differences, because you're two sovereign, independent beings, naturally, you're going to have different opinions on things. You're going to have different ways that you think through a challenge, that you navigate something, different interests, different likes. And so it's those differences, which at times can cause friction, that's going to maintain the polarity. Now to put it in super simple terms for you, if you want to have polarity in relationship, if you want to have that magnetic attraction in relationship, be yourself. Be yourself. Own your needs. Own your desires, which we'll talk about that. Now, of course, being yourself, right? That's not an excuse to be like, I'm going to just say whatever I want to say and do things that are damaging to the relationship. No, you got to work on your communication, work on your expression, come from a place of empowerment, come from connection to heart space. That's super important for the relating. But the more that you are yourself, you stay in that sovereignty, the more you're going to have polarity, the more you're going to have magnetic attraction in relationship. Now, that urge to merge, which I speak to in another episode all around codependence and sovereignty, I don't remember the number at this point, but a recent one within the past 2 weeks, The urge to merge is so strong in relationship. And actually, it's probably within the past month. Okay, reset. The urge to merge is so strong in relationship, and we often forget our sovereignty. We often forget our differences. We often neglect the time that we took to cultivate our own connection to self, to the practices that fill us up, to our interests, listening to our podcast, because maybe we make more time for partner. Or maybe many people, we fear that disconnection. Oh, I'm going to lose the connection the more I take space and go do my own things, the more we spend time apart. But if you want to have polarity, if you want to have true magnetic attraction in relationship, you have to find ways to work through that. And that's also a part of the work I do, and how to empower you to stay in that sovereignty, stay in that choice. Now, what is the definition of magnetism? Yeah, this is also important for this episode so that you can understand it. The definition of magnetism, yeah, according to the Oxford Dictionary, is a physical phenomenon produced by the motion of electric charge resulting in attractive and repulsive forces between objects. Okay? Yeah? A physical phenomenon produced by the motion of electric charge resulting in attractive and repulsive forces between objects. So what does that mean? Yeah? So magnetism is created from polarity, yeah, which means, yeah, that you will have at times, in order to have that magnetism, to have that polarity, at the same time, you're going to magnetize your partner and you will probably also repulse them. Not probably, indefinitely. It's a law. It's science. Okay? You can't have attraction without having repulsion. Now, this is something that's super interesting because this is in the shadow of relationships because many people don't speak about that. Many people only think about, oh yeah, I want that magnetic attraction. I want my partner to be obsessed about me, head over heels for me, adore me 24/7. And we forget the fact that no. In order to have that, you have to be expressed. You have to be yourself in your sovereignty, which means naturally, because you're different people, you will repulse them at times. Your way of being will repulse them at times. Your opinions about something will repulse them at times. They may be angry by you asserting something that you desire. If it wounds them, maybe you'd even do it in a mindful way, but it still causes rejection and wounds them. They may dislike it, be angered by it. Yeah? Yet that's going to help your levels of attraction. Now, I don't want to say, blanket statement 100%, yeah, your partner who maybe has an ego or sensitive, yeah, or in an unhealthy dynamic may not leave you for expressing yourself. Maybe they do, yeah? But if you want to magnetize your ideal partner, that ideal relationship, that true love, that godly love, that divine love that you can't even put into words, you have to be able to carry both. You have to be able to know that, okay, we are in this together. I am being me. You are being you. We are also co-creating energy. And if we're in the bedroom and I say something that you are turned off by, but I say it because I enjoy it, yeah? Actually, we don't know if you'll be turned off by it, partner. But I'm going to say it because I enjoy it. There's potential for you to really love it, and there's potential for you to really be disgusted by it. Yeah? But the very act of you acting on it, of you voicing, is what creates your magnetism, that auric field, that aliveness, that vibrancy of who you are, that uniqueness of who you are. So I gave an example in one of my reels. It's actually pinned to my Instagram, so you can find it. But it's 4 a.m., yeah? And this is when I'm living in Mexico at the time. And I'm in bed with a lover of mine, yeah? And I was feeling a little bit of turn on. At 4 a.m., I couldn't sleep, and so I slowly start to inch my fingers along his thighs, yeah? With the goal of trying to get him to make love with me. No, he wasn't in the mood at that moment. So he just kind of was like, babe, I'm not there right now. I'm trying to sleep, and like rolls over. And yeah, I felt a little bit like a douche, in my heart, a little feeling of rejection. But the thing is, when it does work, ooh, it's so damn sexy. It works, baby. And so I don't want you to let that fear block you from being yourself, from expressing yourself. Because that is an important element. The world needs you to be expressed, to be authentic, to be yourself. The world needs your medicine, your magic, your vibrancy, your aliveness, your magnetism. So if you want to have that magnetic attraction in relationship, You have to be able to hold both. I will at times repulse my partner. I will at times piss my partner off by being me, by doing me. Yeah? And the more authentic I am, the more I am me, the more they're going to be magnetized by me. Because you think about the beginning of stages of a relationship. The beginning stages of a relationship, yeah, where that mystery is there, that excitement is there. And you really have this sense of we are two separate beings. Ooh, I want to get to know you more. What are you thinking? What do you feel on this topic? Ooh, you have a different opinion about X, Y, and Z? Tell me about it. Yeah, there's interest, there's curiosity. Yeah, you're not one. You don't have to have the same opinions, and you don't project that frustration from not having the same opinions on your partner. Right? It's all magic, it's wondrous. Yeah, and that magnetic charge is there, that polarity is there, that spark is there. And so if you want to have that last in relationship, the more work that you do to cultivate connection to self, the better you will, the more polarity you'll have, the more magnetic attraction you'll have. Now, I've also spoken about this in my other podcast episode about polarity, but in order to, not but, and an essential aspect to having polarity in relationship, this is gonna blow your mind, is you have to have inner polarity. You have to have polarity within, which means you have to be able to go to different edges of your being. You have to be able to feel joy and sadness at the same time. I will tie it back to why, yeah? Because sometimes you do, yeah? Have you ever had those moments where you're like, ooh, I'm so happy, and then I start to cry, and there's this sadness in me, yet I don't know where it comes from. I can't put it into words, but it's there. Or let's say this is a situation that came up with a client of mine last week, yeah? Where we were doing some work with her own worthiness, her own disdain for parts of herself, yeah, emotional parts of herself, also for physical parts of herself, yeah? And so we did a practice of bringing pleasure into her body, yeah, where she's doing a little Kundalini, doing some circles, bringing a little bit of turn on, a little bit of pleasure to her body, moving her energy in her body. And she started to feel that pleasure, feel sexy. And that polarity is like, can you hold both? Can you hold the fact that, yeah, sometimes I feel like shit. Sometimes I don't feel good. Sometimes I feel like a freaking loser. And I'm also feeling pleasure right now. And I also know I'm amazing. And I also know this is going to pass. And anyone who's with me or friends with me is lucky to be in my field, in my presence, because I am that great. And the more that you can hold the full scope of your humanity, the full spectrum of who you are without guilting yourself, shaming yourself, judging yourself, attaching yourself to the negative and not the wholeness that you are, because we are both. We don't have to put a label on it as negative and positive. Yeah, the more you're going to have polarity in relationship, because the more you are going to allow yourself that compassion, that love, that softness, that intuition, that feminine energy. Yeah, we're starting slowly to bring it back. And also that expression, that determination, that fierceness, that wildness, your masculine energy. And in order to have polarity in relationship, yeah, you need to be able to access both your masculine and feminine energies at a given time. I'm going to receive now, and then I'm going to impart wisdom later. Yeah? I'm going to impact the direction of the relationship by making plans, taking charge. And I'm also going to be open to your flow, and I'm going to be curious, and I'm going to ask questions. And when you have that balance in relationship of both parties doing and being, of both parties connecting and then also being in their sovereign space, yeah, it's both. That's how you maintain the polarity. That's how you maintain the magnetism. And that is something that needs to come within. It's how you relate to yourself. It's how you relate to your parts. It's how you relate to your masculine and feminine energies. Can you tell? Can you tell I'm excited about this episode? I am loud, I'm screaming, I feel. Because I am just, this is it, baby. This is a little teaser to book number 2, baby. It's a ways out, but it's there. Feel it. Yeah. So there you have it. Yeah. How to have magnetism and polarity in relationship is really being in your sovereignty, being yourself, being expressed, understanding that you will both attract and repel your partner in a given moment, and being okay with it and being able to hold that. It's also being able to be in your sovereignty and being able to be independent and interdependent. Interdependence is that. It's being able to be in your own sovereignty and to collaborate. Not losing sense of self, continuing to do practices that maintain that sense of self, that maintain who you are, why they were attracted to you to begin with. And thirdly, being able to access both your masculine and feminine energies at a given moment in yourself and in relationship. Having a delicate balance, because so many times I see people super skewed one way or the other. Too far in either the wounded masculine, usually, the control, the hyper independence, not being able to rely on another, or they're too far in the femme. I'm just going to flow. I'm going to let the universe show me. I'm going to let everything guide me, but I'm not even putting my desires out to the universe because I'm afraid they won't come true at a subconscious level. Or using it as an excuse to not be vulnerable, to have to express what you want in the relationship, what you desire. And then, of course, then you surrender, right? It's that dance, then you surrender. I'm going to let them show me, let the universe show me after I name what it is I want. But if we don't name what it is that we want, how are we going to get it? If we don't know what we want, how are we going to get it? I love this work. This work changed my life. This is what I teach. How do you have polarity within? How do you balance your masculine and feminine? How do you balance your ability to give and receive? How do you be fully authentic? Yet, how do you also work with your communication and expression so that it lands in the ways you desire? So that you entice your partner to want to listen to you. So that you seduce your partner into having a conversation about a hot button topic. And when you feel grounded and when you feel balanced within, when you have polarity within, you are magnetic, baby. Your relationships are magnetic. People are drawn to you. People want to be around you. Doesn't mean you won't repel people. I'm in a situation now with a sister of mine and we are having separation. You know why? Because I expressed something from my heart and it didn't land. And it repulsed. And we don't know why things repulse. Everyone has their own triggers, their own shadows. We're all mirrors. And so it's being able to sit with that, not let that invalidate self, not get your worth from other people, not needing it. Of course it feels good, but not needing it. Thank you, beautiful people, for tuning in to this week's episode of Divine Union with moi, Nicola. If you liked this episode, if you loved this episode and you found it interesting and insightful and different, leave us a review. Please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. It would mean so much to the pod. This is how if we gain more ears on the podcast. Yeah. This is how we spread the mission, the ultimate mission, which is healing of the genders, healing of humanity, seeing the mirrors in everyone, being able to cultivate deep states of intimacy and passion, which we all desire to fully feel alive. We all have that within us to fully feel alive. And so if you want to support the mission, if you want to support me as a part of that mission, please leave us a review, and share it. Share this episode with someone whom you feel would find it insightful and valuable. I look forward to seeing you next week. And until then, may all your unions be divine.